Ladies and gentlemen, before we talk about opinions, before we talk about freedom, before we talk about detachment, we need to talk about identity. Because every human struggle begins with the same silent question: who am I allowed to be? From childhood, we are taught how to behave, how to speak, how to fit in. Some lessons are useful, others are invisible cages. We are praised when we conform, corrected when we stand out, loved when we meet expectations. And slowly, subtly, we learn a dangerous rule. If you want to belong, don't be too different. So we edit ourselves, we lower our voice, we hide our doubts, we suppress our truth, not because we are dishonest, but because we are afraid of rejection, afraid of judgment, afraid of being misunderstood. Yet here is the great irony of life. The more you try to be accepted by everyone, the further you drift from yourself. Tonight is not about rebellion. It is not about arrogance. It is not about ignoring others. Tonight is about inner liberation, about learning how to hear opinions without letting them define you. Because the greatest power you will ever reclaim is the power to say, I know who I am, even if you don't understand me. And that is where our journey begins. Detach yourself from the opinions of others, ladies and gentlemen. Let me begin with a simple but uncomfortable truth. You will never be free if you live for the approval of others. From the moment we are born, we are surrounded by opinions. They shape us, they follow us, they whisper to us, and sometimes they scream. What should you do? Who should you become? What is success? What is failure? Who are you allowed to be? And slowly, almost without realizing it, we begin to live a life that is not ours. Tonight, I want to talk about freedom. The freedom that comes when you detach yourself from the opinions of others. Part 1. The invisible prison of other people's opinions. Most people don't realize they are prisoners. There are no bars, no chains, no guards. Yet millions of people wake up every morning trapped inside a cage built from expectations, judgments, and fear of criticism. They don't ask, what do I want? They ask, what will people think? They don't move when their heart calls them. They freeze because someone might laugh, and so dreams are postponed, talents are buried, truth is silenced, not because people are incapable, but because they are afraid of opinions. 2. Why opinions have so much power over us. Why do opinions hurt so much? Because human beings are wired for belonging. Rejection feels like danger. Approval feels like safety. Thousands of years ago, being rejected from the tribe meant death. But here is the problem. Your nervous system hasn't realized that it's no longer the Stone Age. Today, rejection doesn't kill you, criticism doesn't destroy you, disapproval doesn't end your life, but we react as if it does. We shrink, we hide, we conform, and we mistake acceptance for love. 3. The truth about other people's opinions. Let me tell you something liberating. Most opinions have nothing to do with you. They are projections, reflections, echoes of other people's fears, wounds, insecurities, and limitations. People judge based on their upbringing, their trauma, their beliefs, their unhealed pain. When someone criticizes your ambition, it often reveals their fear of failure. When someone mocks your authenticity, it often exposes their lack of courage. When someone resents your growth, it often reflects their stagnation. You are not being judged. You are being mirrored. 4. You will be judged no matter what. Here's another uncomfortable truth. If you succeed, they will judge you. If you fail, they will judge you. If you stay silent, they will judge you. If you speak up, they will judge you. So let me ask you, if judgment is unavoidable, why not live truthfully? Why not choose the life that sets your soul on fire? The tragedy is not being criticized. The tragedy is abandoning yourself to avoid criticism. 5. The cost of caring too much. Every time you silence your truth to keep the peace, you pay a price. The price is self-respect, confidence, inner peace. And over time, something dangerous happens. You forget who you are. You wake up one day and realize, I have lived my whole life being liked, but never being known. Approval feels good, but it is addictive. And like any addiction, it demands more while giving less. Hashtag 6. Detachment is not indifference. Let me be clear, detachment does not mean you stop caring. It means you stop being controlled. You can listen without obeying. You can hear feedback without losing yourself. You can respect others without betraying your soul. Detachment is saying, I hear you, but I choose myself. 7. The courage to be misunderstood. Some of the greatest minds in history were misunderstood. They were called crazy, dangerous, arrogant, impossible, but they had one thing in common. They chose truth over approval. If you are brave enough to be authentic, you must be strong enough to be misunderstood, because not everyone will understand your journey. Not everyone deserves access to your dreams. And that's okay. 8. How to detach. Practical truths. First, know yourself. The more you understand who you are, the less opinions can shake you. Second, choose your inner voice over outer noise. Not every opinion deserves your attention. Third, set boundaries. Access to you is a privilege, not a right. Fourth, anchor your worth internally. If your value depends on applause, your peace will always be unstable. And 9, the freedom on the other side. When you detach from opinions, something magical happens. You breathe deeper, you speak clearer, you walk taller, you stop performing, you start living. You realize, I don't need permission to exist as myself. And that realization changes everything. 10. A final reflection. One day, your life will end, and on that day, the opinions of others will not matter. What will matter is this: did you live honestly? Did you honor your truth? Did you have the courage to be yourself, even when it was uncomfortable? Because the greatest regret is not being judged. The greatest regret is never having lived. Closing. So detach. Let go. Release the weight. You were not born to be approved. You were born to be alive. As we come to the end of this reflection, I want you to imagine a quiet moment. No noise. No audience. No critics. Just you and your conscience. In that moment, opinions fall silent. The voices that once scared you, the judgments that once shaped you, the expectations that once controlled you, they disappear. And only one voice remains. Yours. That voice will not ask, how many people approved of you? It will ask, did you honor your truth? Did you live courageously? Did you become who you were meant to be? Detaching from the opinions of others does not make life easier, but it makes life honest. It gives you peace instead of applause, alignment instead of validation, integrity instead of performance. And yes, you may lose some approval, but what you gain is priceless: self-respect, clarity, freedom. Remember this: opinions are temporary, truth is permanent. People will talk, briefly, but you will live with yourself forever. So choose wisely, detach gently, stand firmly, live fully. Because you are never born to be approved. You were born to be real. Thank you.